So real quick, while we're on the subject of Marvel and animation, did you see the trailer for X-Men 97?
Yeah, I have no faith in it.
Really?
No,
Why don't you have
no.
any faith in it?
I don't want to. I don't want to get into it on here.
No, I know where you're going. I wanted to get into this because I
If
have a
you want to,
rebuttal.
if you want to go there, if you want to go there, and it's only one character so far. Past
Yes,
that,
and
the animation's garbage. It's not. I
really,
mean, it's computer animated, but the thing is, it's made to kind of resemble the
I was gonna
original.
say it's
The
made to
original
mimic
will
the
take
original.
forever to do. So I get it. I get it because I mean, we had the same issue with Dragon Ball Super in the beginning stages. It was garbage, and then they got really good. So I mean, I'll give it a chance. But to be honest with you, I didn't really watch the original cartoon a lot. I watched Spider Man '94 more than anything. I watched that constantly, and Dragon Ball, of course. Dragon Ball Z. We didn't get Dragon Ball then.
Actually, we
Not
we
yet.
did, but it
No, it
was
wasn't on
even lesser
Toonami.
known. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. So I assume your issue is with the
Trans
Morph
character.
character. Well, he's
Because the
not
thing
he's not
is,
trans.
he's
He's
non-binary, but the thing is that shit wasn't even around then. You can't be
no, but
sitting
well,
there
okay.
bringing that up.
So first of all, I question as to whether they will actually use the phrase non-binary in the show.
Oh, I highly doubt it, but they've already literally gone on and said it within their like releases or whatever
Okay, but
statements.
I'm concerned about in the show. Now let's think about this for a second though. Let's really think about this. So Morph's mutant power is he can turn his body into effectively any other, as far as
Person
I know, humanoid
thing.
being, but
Okay.
not even humans. And theoretically, he can, because I know in this show he's changing his face. Now he does have an original form. I understand that, but
What's his original form?
it's well,
It's
I
a
mean,
man,
he's a
right?
human. Yeah, he's a human. Yeah.
Okay. So he's gay. Just
No, no, no.
kidding.
But here's my. So first of all, I have two issues with this take. First of all, well, three. First of all, I think people are really calling the shot before they've really seen the show, and I think that there's sort of this reflex now that just because something is even relatively progressive, it's automatically woke
This
garbage.
is my 100% issue. You're nailing it right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because well, they did this with Star Trek too, and I just eye rolled this because they're like, Star Trek's woke. Well, what the fuck happened to Star Trek? It's so woke now. I'm like,
And you
did you?
decided to watch it.
No, no, no. It's like, did you not watch the original? Star Trek has been progressive since day one. Like, literally since day one. I'm kind of surprised it took them this long to get openly gay characters. I'm kind
Wasn't
of
Spock
surprised.
was Leonard Nimoy? He wasn't gay, was he?
No, no.
He was married, right?
George Takei was gay, but
Who
his character wasn't on the show, Mr. Sooth. Oh my. But like they didn't have gay characters until openly gay characters until Discovery, I think. They kind of they kind of hinted at it in Next
big
Generation, but they
difference from
never.
a child's cartoon to an adult's
Okay, first
show.
of all, let's call a spade here. This is not a children's cartoon. This is for millennials.
Yes, but it is absolutely marketed towards children because if not,
I don't
uh,
know. I'd say it's marketed towards
hold on,
millennials.
hold on. What's her name? Was it Rogue?
Yeah.
Is that the one they have? Everyone has a problem with.
The
She ain't got no booty.
oh god, that.
She's flat pancakes, man. Oh, hungry Jack.
Okay. God,
No, and like I said, and that's okay. That's not a big deal. Like you're
it's
not
really
watching
not.
cartoons for asses or something like that. As a kid, you're
Well,
like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." But
no,
like as you get
well,
older,
actually, as a lot of 35-year-old
I know they're
males are
complaining
watching it.
about it. I don't really care about that, but at the
No,
same
I don't
time,
either.
I see that change, and then I hear about the morph character, and it wasn't what the morph character was. It was what
Well,
they were saying in their statements by saying that non-binary bullshit. And it was like, listen, if you would have shut the fuck up, this is the problem with those people. They don't shut the fuck up. If they would shut up and not say anything and just be like, hey, the character's morph, and everybody like, okay, cool. They
well,
would
but
have
see,
had
here's
no
so
backlash from anyone.
yeah,
I mean,
and here's the thing about, so we'll use the Morph character again. Like I said, I highly doubt they're going to use the phrase non-binary in the show,
oh, they
but
won't.
I'm sure Morph already did in the original series has a bit of an identity crisis. So here's the thing though, when you write a character well, the story is universal in the sense that, okay, on the surface, since Morph has the ability to become essentially whoever he wants, well, who is he? So to the lay person, it's an identity crisis. But if you have somebody who, like, let's say somebody is actually transgender or they identify as non-binary, all of a sudden that character is accessible to to them in a completely different way. But
You
the
know what
story
Morph
can still
is?
be, do what?
You know what Morph actually is?
What is he?
Literally all of the made up genders in one.
I mean, but theoretically, so it's not a stretch. It's not a stretch to say that the Morph character would technically be considered non-binary because he can be both. Here's the difference, though. In the wacko world that we live in, people actually think they are non-binary and can go back
Zero
and
or
forth.
one. Zero or one.
But but if if someone like Morph existed in the real world, technically speaking, since he can become one or the other, technically he is non-binary. Now, whether or not they play the pronoun game,
Non-binary is a made-up term. It's
it
stupid.
is but
Binary.
Morph is a made-up person.
No, I understand that. But the thing is, when you're using made-up definitions to describe a made-up person, it's a cartoon. I get
No,
that.
I
But
don't
the thing
even
is, we
you
live in
know.
the real world where people try to call themselves this non-binary shit.
Well, but here's the thing though, not the term non-binary is a term that is used to describe something that happens in someone's mind, but they think it happens in the physical manifestation of the world. Like
Right. It's called mental illness.
I totally, well, yeah, okay, so yeah, you're right. But like
Somewhat.
in this person's mind though, they actually believe, and I'm gonna say they do in the sense because it's in their mind, they
Mhm.
believe that they transition between one or the other on any given day. So the term isn't fake necessarily, but it's describing something that does not actually manifest in the physical world. Because now we are, again, we're in this weird sort of bizarro world where subjective reality is the most important reality, not objective, which flies in the face of the word reality. But,
Well, I was going to say what you just described sounds like multiple personality syndrome.
well, which
If
again, so
you're
that's
a
actually,
different person and whatnot from day to day, well, I don't feel like a girl. I don't feel like, it's like, I mean, it's not person. I mean, it kind of is, but it's silly, man.
well, but
They
I
need to
have a
bring
thought,
back
I have a
mental
thought,
institutions.
I have thoughts on multiple personality. Now, again, take this with a massive grain of salt because I'm not someone who has ever been afflicted by this,
I am
nor
Patricia.
nor am I a psychologist, but to me it seems like just because something exists in your mind does not mean it's real. It may be very real to you, but that's
Right.
subjectively real. Now, where you can play with these ideas is with a character like Morph, though, because Morph can actually become whoever he wants
Yeah.
on a whim. So I was thinking about that. I'm like, technically speaking, like I know that they're using the term for the wrong reason. They're using the term non-binary so that they can sound woke, but technically speaking, it is probably the most accurate way to describe someone like Morph because he can change his outward manifestation. But here's my question if you want to really overthink this. When he morphs, does his DNA change?
Potentially. I
But that's
mean,
what I'm saying. So potentially, so
if he can
theoretically,
change his chromosomes from XX to XY, or he might not even have XXXY chromosomes because of how he is.
exactly.
Because if you're not XXXY, you are something else. So therefore, he should essentially be either I'm not going to say extraterrestrial because I'm assuming he was born on the
Well, yeah,
planet.
he is a human being. He was born the same way you or I would be.
Humanoid.
Well, yeah,
I
that's what I'm saying.
but there's really nothing
Humanoid.
else to like describe him other than that. Like the
Well,
non like I said,
unless we know, because like you have a character like let's Martians in the DC universe, when they shapeshift, it happens at the cellular level. So they can change things like blood type and stuff like that. Even species, even from a species perspective, they can in fact uh more transform their own blood cells. Now, what's interesting though is unless I don't think I've ever seen a actually no, I take that back. I have seen a Martian character shapeshift to the technical opposite gender, but DC establishes that there are Martians are gender binary. They
Wait,
are
wait,
male and female.
wait. Hold on. I have a question. Well, I there's no way you can answer this. It would have to be the showrunners. And honestly, this would be a good question for them. So when Morph does change, does his bone structure change as well? Because
Yes,
one,
it would.
one
It would
okay, well,
theoretically.
I mean, you never know. It might just be physical, like like he might. I don't know. His bone structure may be the same as when it's his bones,
No, it
but
would have to
outside of his
though.
body. I mean, because you got to think, dude. Like, I'm not trying to be mean towards any bigger people out there. So, like a 400-pound man, his bone structure is still the same, but his body is huge. Like his bones aren't as big.
Oh
When they
yeah,
say,
yeah.
"Oh, you got big bone, you're big bone," it's like, no, bitch, you just fat.
Well,
I'm
no, I can actually answer that because it when Morph
in the
changes
pelvis.
into
That's what
an
I was going for because it's
yeah,
gender specific.
well because Morph has like I believe he transformed into Jubilee once in an early episode, and at the time I think Jubilee is like 14, so he gets considerably shorter and thinner. So his bone structure would actually
Yeah,
have to
they would
change.
have to. Okay.
Yeah.
See, and
I'm
you know
really curious. I'm really curious though. I would like just as a fun sort of overthinking about it fan theory, I'd like to know the answer to whether or not his DNA changes when, because theoretically, if it did, Morph could technically inseminate himself
that.
or herself
Or like you
itself.
said, most likely sterile.
Most likely sterile because of the constant changing. The
Yeah.
gametes wouldn't be able to.
You
Well, I guess he could. So theoretically,
can't keep producing eggs if you're not a female all the time.
he'd have to stay a female though. That's what I'm saying. For
Yes.
at
Oh yeah,
least for this,
absolutely.
at
That
least
way,
for the gestation. That's what I'm saying. So like if he transforms from his
dude, it's like
normal,
playing a game and it shuts off and you lose your saved data.
you know,
You're 6 months pregnant, you got to switch over to a man. It's gone.
but I mean, so literally that okay, so
That's fucked up.
extremely stupid and hypothetical scenario. So Morph in his I'm gonna call it his base form.
All right.
Um, let's say he harvests some sperm, right? And then
Oh
he
my gosh, he's oh man.
and here's the thing though. So like let's say he transforms into Rogue and then inseminates himself.
97 Rogue.
Yes, 97. He could theoretically, especially if his DNA changes, he could theoretically have his own child, but he would it's like you said, he would have to stay in that form through the duration of the pregnancy and delivery.
Jeez, what the? That would be fucked up. You did this to me. No, you did this to me. No, no, no. That's messed
You
up.
did this. So yes, I've put way too much thought into that, but I am just speaking in X-Men 97's defense. I implore you, don't write it off because one
Oh,
dumb
I'm
person.
not.
I'm
I'm
not talking
not.
to you. I'm talking to them, the audience.
He's talking about me as the dumb person right now.
No, don't write the show off because one dumb person at Disney said something stupid.